Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, who will speak about potential high-value crop production under protected cover in Eastern and Western Ghat regions. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajni. So my focus this time is on the Eastern and Western Ghats. So let's understand first that the topography of Eastern and Western Ghat. So if you see that my cursor, this whole region along the Bay of Bengal from Odisha till Tamil Nadu, it is called Eastern Ghat. And from here up to Mumbai, covering the Maharashtra, Goa, Kerala. So this is called the Western Ghat region. So in both these Eastern and Western Ghat, there is this Deccan plateau. So, but if you see that this Western Ghat region is a continuous mountain, but on the eastern side, it is a broken actually. So, and if you, this is a narrow mountain range in the western side, but on the eastern side, it is a wider mountain range. So, climate in both places are hot and humid most of time. There are very steep slopes, very narrow valleys, and thick forest cover. And as I told you, rainfall is high, and plant diversity is also very high. So Western Ghats, they are already known as biodiversity hotspot. So all the rivers, that major rivers, they emerge from the Western Ghat. So goes into the Bay of Bengal, like Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, and on the eastern side, the cyclones occurrence from the Bay of Bengal is frequent and less on the western side. So Animudi is the highest peak here. If you see my cursor, this is the Animudi, and Doda betta here. This is on the eastern Ghats. That's the highest point, and elevation of these places approximately 2,600 meter. So wide variety of crops are grown here. Field crops like rice, millets, and pulses. But rice is actually staple food in both regions. And horticulture crops like coconut, mango, banana, cashew nut, betel nut, oil nut, vanilla, etc. Plantation crops, you can see the coffee, tea, vanilla, pineapple, rubber, and in the mostly it is in the you will find in the Western Ghat region. And flowers, berry, vegetable cultivation also in the Western Ghat region, especially berries, they are grown in the Mahabaleshwar region, then flowers, berry and vegetable, a lot of growing area in the Ooty, Kodaikanal region. So Polyhouse you will find in Ooty, Kodaikanal, Mahabaleshwar and nearby areas. But as this area is hot and humid, so there are a lot of challenges here. So temperature high in the plain region on the coastal side, but cooler on the highland. Humidity is always high, most because of proximity to the sea. So that caused a lot of fungal and bacterial problems. So frequent occurrence of cyclone, as I told you, on the eastern coast, there is a frequent occurrence, but not in the western coast. So high insect pressure due to very intensive farming. So in this region, net house they doesn't work, but polyhouse you will find at most of places. but it may have a issue during summer or rainy season. So growers, they prefer mostly the hilly side for a cooler day and night temperature. But as on the hilly side, you will have a less flat land, so it's very difficult to scale up sometime. So protected cultivation of, most of you know that it's a process of growing the crops in a controlled environment. So it is a low to high capital investment activity. You get the assured yield and quality, and you can grow the crops almost throughout the year. So when we talk this protected cultivation or greenhouse cultivation or controlled environment cultivation, so polyhouse is the most used word in our country. So this polyhouse, as you can see in the picture, uh, they have a bands on the side and on the top, and you have a poly sheet on the top and side as well with the roll up wall. So this type of structure, they are suitable for subtropical type of climate, not tropical. Subtropical means that it is a slightly mild climate, just like Pune, Bangalore. So where the temperature between 0 to 28 degrees, so it works very well. So crops are protected from rain, hail, cold, and wind also. So you can have a early harvest as compared to field grown crops. But as here it is a poly cover, so there is no direct light coming to the crop. So there is a less transpiration. So that hamper the yield actually. So insect production is also rapid due to higher temperature, humidity, and normally that you might have find that as plants are softer inside the polyhouse, so that cause more insect attack inside polyhouse. So during windy period, especially April, May, or September, October, so due to the strong winds, there is a chances of losing the plastic you might have seen, experienced in your areas. And for summer, that when temperature cross 35-degree outside, so you need a additional cooling equipment like shading net or fogging system, or sometimes you have to add evaporative type of cooling system also. So they are not very effective in hot and humid climate. Price between 1,500 to 2,500 per square meter, depending upon how much size you are building up. So the next is the fan pad structure, which we often call a greenhouse. So as you can see that in this structure, on one side you have the exhaust fan, and other side you have a cooling pad. So these exhaust fan, they suck the cool air from the evaporative pad and then maintain the uh, cool temperature inside. So these type of the structure, they works very well during summer month, but not during rainy season when outside humidity is high. So it's very difficult to get rid of the inside humidity. So performance goes down during rainy season. So this type of structure, you can have a protection from rain, hail, uh, heat, and cold. And here also that you can extend your growing season. In this also, because you have a fixed poly, so it hinders your sunlight. So it also reduce your transpiration and thereby affecting your yield. So insect reproduction is also very rapid because you get a congenial environment inside. If insect enters inside, then it multiply very fast. So you have to make chemical sprays. So it's very difficult to follow the organic protocol. And power and water consumption is very high in the fan pad system. There is something like 1,000 to 2,000 kilowatt hours of electricity per day per hectare, which is very high, where electricity cost is very high. So I discourage to put up such structure. And also that you may lose the this plastic during high wind periods. Because there is a limitation of this fan pad structure that you can't put up a wider distance between fan and pad more than 50 meter. So you have to build up another house. So this is a limitation with you can't go for multi-hectare. You have to build 50-meter wide house at multiple locations. So this type of structure, they are priced between the 2,500 to 5,000 rupees per square meter, depending upon that what type of material equipment you are using. So sometimes they are very costly also. If you are going for a fully climate controlled structure, so the cost may be between 10,000 to 15,000 rupees per square meter. So rain shelters, this is becoming very popular because it is very low cost and you can install very easily. You can cover many crops, many area. So rain shelters are now being promoted by the government also. So in this rain shelter, as you can see that on the top there is a plastic so that you can protect your crop, but sides they are open. Like here, you can see the sides are open. So there may be the chances of insect pest attack or disease attack here because these are open. So that may be the concern. Otherwise, this type of technologies, they require a less level of skill or agronomic knowledge. Anyone who is experienced in the open field, so they can follow the same protocols here also. There is no control of temperature and humidity in such structure. But of course, you can extend your growing season here. And quality and yield drop during when in the summer season, when summer season is coming. So because of high temperature and radiation, so because you can't shade the that larger area, so DC pressure always high, as I told you. So our unique protocols very difficult to manage. But still, actually, this type of technology, many people they are adopting because of very low cost, something between 500 to 1,500 rupees per square meter. And there is always a risk of wind damage because you know that sides are open here, so winds can uproot this structure. So you can lose both structure as well as crop. In Crevo, because I'm working for Crevo, which is a leading company for retractable roof structure. So we are also developing a very robust type of rain shelter under the flat roof. So I will discuss in the later slides. So let's understand about this retractable roof technology. So there is a brief video.
Today, more people around the world than ever before are integrating fruits and vegetables into their diets. And as a result, retailers want to have stock available all year round. But there are several big challenges that growers like you are facing to meet this increasing demand. Extreme and inconsistent weather patterns result in inconsistent supply. Input costs are frequently rising faster than selling prices. And insects cause massive damage to crops at the same time as consumers demand that their food is produced with minimal chemicals. So for you, the challenge is how to have predictable and consistent supply when the weather is inconsistent. For over 35 years, we've been working on the solution. Introducing the retractable roof production system, which creates a more consistent growing environment for farmers in warm and hot climates. When the weather is ideal, the roof will automatically retract, allowing the natural outdoors to come inside. When cold, rain, or hail comes, the roof will automatically close to protect the plants. And when there is high summer heat, the roof closes 80% to protect the plants from direct sun, while also allowing for ventilation and cooling. The system is very efficient, as it requires only 1 to 2 kilowatt hours of electricity per day, per hectare, and requires minimal water for cooling when temperatures exceed 35 degrees Celsius. Crevo houses have proven to resist damage from hail and major storms, such as hurricanes and cyclones. By working with Crevo, you can create optimum growing conditions year-round to produce crops with larger size, with higher yields, longer shelf life, extend your harvest season, or target a completely different harvest season. Together as partners, we will create an innovative production system to meet your market opportunities and climate challenges, while targeting a 3 to 5 year return on investment. Join us as we continue to build production systems of the future that combine nature and protection to create superior growing environments. Today,
So friends, if you are looking for a organic production, and then this is the most suitable technology for producing crop organically by using very less pesticides and fungicide. Almost most of our growers, they use the organic uh, pesticide and fungicide. There normally people avoid. They this is the best suitable technology if you are looking for organic production. So Crevo has it's almost 45-year-old company. So it has created 75 different solutions. 75 different solutions. You can say that by using the 4 house models, one fifth one is coming up now, 11 different type of covering of the roof and wall, and 3 different layer, top layer, middle layer, and lower layer. So you can see that we can create, we try to understand the microclimate of your place, type of crops to be grown, so that you can get the desired result. So there are 4 basic model. Flat roof structure, as you can see my cursor here. It has a flat profile. So it is more suitable for dry climate like Rajasthan, like Aurangabad, where rainfall is less than 500 mm. Or there are certain crops like which doesn't affected by the high rain, so they can tolerate the rain. So you can put up this flat roof structure. And next model is the X-frame structure, as you can see my cursor here. So this is the best model for humid climate where rainfall is high and you want to cover the larger area. So X-frame is the best choice for that climate. It is also called a tension structure because there is a lot of wire on the roof. So it's a very robust type of structure, and wind load capacity of this structure is 110 kilometer, just like a flat roof also. And then next model is the rafter house, like you can see my cursor here. It is a wider span house, so it has a 14 or 16 meter width between the 2 posts. So especially it is used for nursery purpose or some specific use. And A-frame, it is a top model actually. You can see there is a lot of steel here. So this type of structure is installed in a very extreme climatic conditions, like in the coastal region of Odisha or Tamil Nadu, where cyclones occur. So this structure has a wind resistance capacity of 200 km/h. or maybe in the high altitude area where a snowfall occurs, 3-4 feet of snowfall occurs. So this it is installed there. And moreover, if you are looking for a smaller size structure, so these model, this A-frame and rafter house, we can provide minimum size of 1,000 square meter. But these models here, these are for large operations. So minimum size we can provide is 1 hectare. So these price actually increased from flat roof to A-frame. So it varies between 5,000 to 15,000 per square meter, depending how much area you want to build up. So there are many applications of retractable roof for this production technology. So I will explain in detail that retractable roof greenhouse, when we call it a greenhouse, then it means that we have a clear plastic like here on the roof, so that you can generate heat inside. You allow more light and generate heat inside. So this type of structure, they are installed in the colder region. Then we call next one, the application is the cooling house. So here you can see that we have a white plastic on the top. So white, it gives the shading effect up to 85%. So we call it a cooling house. So then we have a field covers like flat roof or X-frame, that for a large scale field cover to cover any crop. Similarly for orchard cover or rain shelter also. For greenhouse, as you can see, that we use the clear plastic here. You can see from below here and from the top here. So it has a life of 8 to 12 years. Sometimes it lasts for 15 years also. Normally that you might have seen that Polyhouse plastic is last for 3-4 years. So every 3-4 years you have to make it replace. But here you need not to replace up to 10th year, even longer. So where heat is more limiting than cold, we install this clear plastic. Means that we want to have more light penetration inside to generate more heat. So normally in the cold region, what we do that before the sunset, we close the roof and wall and trap the heat, whatever the heat, the daytime heat in the lower area, so that heat and the humidity can last for the winter, for the whole night. Okay. So normally this type of structure, they are installed between 30 to 50 north south latitude. You can say that above Srinagar, or both in northern and southern hemisphere. But also that in some other location where altitude is higher, just like in Kodaikanal, Ooty, or there are points that the altitude is more than 2,000 square meter from the sea level. There also we need to have a such type of plastic. Even on the western side, actually, you know that during rainy season there is a continuous cloud cover for many days. So light availability is less. So we during that region we also install this clear plastic, so that light availability is more. So next application is cooling house. So as I told you that cooling house, when we call, then we put away white plastic on the top, as you can see from the top and below. So it gives the maximum shade. And when we close this white plastic, then it becomes a shade house. So this type of structure we normally recommend from 0 to 30-degree north-south latitude. So you can say that whole of India, except the high altitude area, Himalaya, we recommend this type of plastic on the top. Life is same 8 to 12 years. So here actually there are two variants. One is laminated type and other is non-laminated. Laminated type normally we use in all peak roof model like X-frame or rafter house or A-frame, but not in the flat roof. Flat roof we use non-laminated so that you have some penetration of the rain also. So we have this cooling house type structure here in Simply Fresh, a lemon chili farm 6 hectare Simply Fresh, 45 hectare that we are building in Western UP. It's a very huge area. So this field covering system, as I told you, that it is for a large scale installation to cover any field of any shape and size. It may be 1 hectare, it may be 10 hectare, it may be 100 hectare. So we can cover any area. So crops may be any crop. It may be field crop, it may be vegetable, or it may be fruit crop. So now we had already that 2 hectare installed by Namdhari and 45 hectare, as I told you, in Western UP. Similarly, that orchard covering system means that when we put up this structure on an orchard or a fruit crop, like you can see here in the avocado or mango or apple or cherry or any fruit crop that you need a protection. So here also we can use either clear plastic or white plastic depending upon location or climate, or even here in the orchard cover, if you see that if you have a slopy land or undulating land, you can put up a structure or explain mainly on the slopy land. So wide variety of crops can be grown under the protected cultivation. So vegetable like tomato, capsicum, brinjal, leafy and herbs like lettuce, coriander, basil, berries like strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, fruit crops like melons, papaya, avocados, nutraceutical like turmeric, ginger, flowers like any flower, annual or perennial type, or ornamental like trees, shrub, or succulents. Young plants means that you can any crop you can grow. So let's see that because as I told you, we use 1 to 3 layer, different layer on the roof. So you can see here that how it operates in this video. This is the insect layer. This is the shading layer. The top is the actually it may be white or clear. So there are 3 layers here. So 3 layers they can operate simultaneously, or depending upon that the condition of the day or microclimate, you can use any layer. So there is a lot of flexibility in this type of design. So now let's talk about the crops. Strawberry is widely grown in Mahabaleshwar area in the Western Ghat region and also in the Ooty region. So mostly that it is grown in the field, but now the people they are covering under the polyhouse or tunnels or something rain shelters like structure. But if you want to grow good quality firm berries with the good taste and long shelf life, so you can use any of the retractable roof model. And the advantage of retractable roof as compared to conventional structure that you can expand your production possibilities. You can either shift or extend your harvest season. You can have a better yield and quality and shelf life. So as per market, you can also produce your crop. So you have a very less input requirement, especially in the strawberry that fungicide use is 90% less as compared to polyhouse, and insecticide use is 60 to 70% less. So if you want to follow the safe growing protocols, then you can easily follow under the retractable roof. And so thereby you can also reduce the input cost. There is also very low risk because structure is very robust. So you can have a wind bearing capacity up to 200 kilometer, depending upon your location. So we can install that structure. Similarly, for leafy and herbs, most of people actually they either grow in the open or under polyhouse or tunnels. So you have seen that if you are growing in a polyhouse or in a fan pad, your leaf is softer. When you harvest your crop, take to the market, then it loses its turbidity. So so you get lesser price. But if you want to maintain the crunchiness of this leaf, especially the lettuce, and also the flavor and color, then retractable roof is the best option because it's a natural growing system. Only that it protect the crop when you need the protection. So retractable roof that, as I explained earlier, that it combine the climate optimization, nature and protection. So you can use any system of growing, either NFT or floating raft or growing bags. As you can see here in the picture, here this project in Delhi, it is NFT system, and here this project in it is a floating raft actually. So we have a project in Delhi and Hyderabad. So Delhi with the tower, then Hyderabad simply fresh. We have also put up a project in Pattaya. It's a very hot and humid climate, just like your most of place in South India. And also we have a lot of project in USA, Florida, and Australia. So cucumber is a snacking crop that we eat almost throughout the year. So if you are targeting a year-round production, so retractable roof offers the best option. Otherwise, in a polyhouse, you can take two or two crops minimum. Nut house also that in some region people are taking two crops. Rain shelter, probably you may harvest the crop seasonally, just like in the open field. But if you are targeting a year-round production, minimum 3 cycle or maximum 4 cycle, then you can opt for the retractable roof structure. Especially in the Kerala, most of places, because vegetables that are imported from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and other places. So vegetables are very costly there. So if you want to put up a project in Kerala itself, then I think you can grow all these crop almost year round. So for cucumber, actually, depending upon your location or climate, you can use either greenhouse or cooling house. But you need a retractable layer of insect net because cucumber attacks a lot of insects. And insect net, we have a actually retractable here. It is not a fixed one normally that you might have seen in the net house. It is also retractable. So it helps stabilizing your microclimate and also protecting against the insect. So during winter time, actually, it increase your light level by retracting the insect net. So it is actually a very good option for your climate. So we already have a project lemon chili farm in Hyderabad for 5 acres. They are growing almost throughout the year cucumber in 5 acres. Tomato is a most common widely grown crop inside the greenhouse. So when, although that we have a lot of open field production in India, but during summer or rainy season, that the availability of tomato goes down and prices go very high, especially from 15th June till you can say the 15th September or October, the prices are very high for tomato. So you can target your production window with the retractable roof system, because during this period, neither polyhouse, neither rain shelter, neither your this fan pad system is workable due to high humidity condition. But a retractable roof, you can manage the humidity inside the, so you can grow this crop very well. So you can target your crop almost minimum 7 months, or if you are target 12 months, so you can have a different staggered manner plantation inside your structure. So for tomato also, you need a insect net, and you can increase the planting density also here. You can grow in the soil, or if you have a good soil. If you have issue with the soil like a nematode or bacterial issue, then you can switch over to coco pit like grow bags. Here you can see. So already that Simply Fresh in Hyderabad, they are growing in 5 acre. They are growing especially the specialty tomato like grape tomatoes, snacking type of tomato, or you can say the cherry tomato or beef tomato, because they have a they are used for as a salad in different item. So the price is also good for those type of tomato. Like sweet pepper also, most of people are aware of to grow the sweet pepper. Is grown widely in India in the net house, in polyhouse. Now retractable also. If you are targeting a good quality, firm type of capsicum, then it's better to grow under the retractable, because we have done a test here in India that the wall thickness of this capsicum grown inside the retractable is 13 to 25, 21% higher than the polyhouse, and fruit firmness is 40% higher. It means that it is more, it has more shelf life. So dehydration is 35% less after 15 days of post-harvest storage. So if you are targeting a long distance market like Middle East market or Singapore market, or even in India that you want to supply the throughout India through railway network, so then it is best that you need a very good quality self longer shelf life crop. So then preferably you have to go with the retractable roof. Already there are lemon chili farm in Jahirabad in Hyderabad. They are growing in 10 acres and supplying almost everywhere. Avocado is also a very popular crop now, although that you can grow in a open field, especially in the subtropical type of climate where frost should not occur. If there is a frost or fog issue, then you have to avoid, you need to have a protection. So, so even the high temperature also damages your crop. So you can see here, this is a project we have done in Australia. So if you wanted to grow very high quality avocado, then you need to put up such type of system. Flower and ornamental, although that a lot of people they are already growing flower in Uti Kodaikanal region, also in Telangana or Andhra region, especially this carnation, gervera, roses. They are widely grown inside the polyhouse. But if you want to put up structure in some lowland area, especially in the coastal region, or you can say the plain area where you have a issue with the high heat, then you can opt for the retractable roof, because under the retractable roof you can prevent the stretching of the plant. You can prevent the foliar disease like botrytis. You can reduce the insect pressure. Or you can also eliminate the burning of plants, especially the tip burning. So nursery plants, similarly, if there are there are already a lot of nursery in Pune area or in the Andhra region. So if you want to grow very good quality nursery for a long distance market for the exports, so it is, I think, better to adopt a retractable type of technology, so that you have a optimum root shoot ratio, and you can have a more thicker stem with the thicker clipper, so that when you transport it to long distance for a longer period, so mortality rate should be less. So as you can see, we have a project in Indonesia for 4 hectares. They are supplying this nursery almost up to Africa or many countries in other region. So vanilla is a very important crop for Kerala region because it is the costliest, like kesar or saffron, and you can grow very easily in a, but you need a shade to grow this crop. And also that you need a well distributed rainfall between 150 to 350 centimeter, means that you need a very high rainfall and for the growing, except for flowering period during December, January, February, when flowering takes place and you have to pollinate your crop with the hand, then you need a dry season. Otherwise, you need a continuous rain. And temperature range between 25 to 34 is the best for this crop. If you have a high temperature, so you can put up a shade net like this here also, and you can go up to 1400 meter elevation to grow this crop. So it prefer the 45% shade and grow very well under the filter light. Means that filter light, that like this light coming from canopy of the plants, it is a filter light. Here also you are getting a filter light, so it grows very well. So you have to do pollinate actually this crop during winter month with a knife, and your harvesting of the pod will start in 3rd year, and that will continue up to 12 year or sometime 14 years. So it's a very lucrative crop for Kerala region. If anybody interested, so they can go with the either they have to maintain this type of shade canopy, or you have to put shade net, or we can supply the rain shelter, rain shading structure like flat roof structure, which are automatically the climate is controlled in those. So nutraceutical crop, they are like ginger or turmeric or ashwagandha, so many crops. They are becoming very popular after the COVID actually. So especially for the export market, you wanted to sell this crop, then you need to follow the organic protocols. So then retractable roof is the best option for following the organic protocols with the using almost no chemicals or less chemicals as per the protocols. So already that we have a project in Simply Fresh in Hyderabad. They are already growing in 6 hectares, this turmeric and ginger, ashwagandha, and even they are trying some other crop like Bacopa also. So just like human beings, we need a air conditioning, animals also need a shelter actually. So here actually, normally you might have seen that our animal shelters, they are very traditional type. Because animal, they breathe, so then when they breathe, so there is a lot of carbon dioxide or monoxide accumulation inside that house, and it becomes very difficult for animal to stay in the longer time. So this type of openable structure, you can actually you can have this retractable roof with openable side wall, so that animal can breathe very well. So not only that, it will protect against the rain, cold, and heat also, and there are a lot of other benefits that you can supervise your animals from one corner to each other corner, because it is always in your IVs. So lot of amusement park or sports complex, they are coming with the retractable roof, so that like in a shopping area or in you can see this type of Disneyland. Here they have put up a retractable roof structure over the swimming pool or in the shopping area or any recreational area. Even now that cricket board, they are putting up this structure for practicing the means for the player actually, so that they have a congenial environment where they can play in the summer, or they can rainy season also. They can play in any season. So now that we are now designing another model, that new retractable flat roof, which we'll call auto dry motorized retractable rain shelter. So this structure actually, you know that flat roof is the lowest cost retractable roof structure. So it will be almost same price, but the issue with the flat roof that we can't protect against the rain, because rainwater comes inside will fall on the crop. But in this system, we are putting a rain shelter below the roof, so that you can keep your crops dry, and also that you can avoid excessive heat and radiation with the roof, cooling roof. You can protect your crop from the wind, because flat roof is already designed for 110 kilometers. So this rain shelter, rain will fall directly to the ground from the edges of the rain shelter, so it will not fall on the crop. So that will keep your crop dry. And because normally that rain shelter, they are blown away by the winds, but because you are putting up this rain shelter inside the flat roof, so that already has a 110 kPH capacity, so you will not lose the plastic of the rain shelter. And also the climate control, that there is some limitations. Actually, rain will still enter the house and cool the environment, and the soil will cool down where the rain reaches the soil. So, but operational, there are a lot of benefits, because flat roof covering lasts 8 to 12 years. Rain shelter covering also will have this almost the same life. So this type of structure, I think it will be more useful in Eastern and Western Ghat region, or where rainfall is very heavy, and you can't go for you can't afford to buy the structure, means that a very costly structure. So this is the best option for you people. So as I told you that because a retractable roof is a very robust structure against the cyclone. So here we have taken a video of a cyclone inside our structure. The wind speed is 200 kilometers per hour. So this is a very massive tropical cyclone from Mexico in 2019. Then the wind speed is 200 kilometers by the weather station. So you can see that because we have a closed roof and wall, so nothing happened to us. Because you can see, because the network of stainless wire over the roof here is a wire over the top. So so it will never be blown up. And moreover, that we are using the reinforced insulation, and that has a actually magnetism from both sides. So it is a very long lasting. So we never lost any structure during last 16 seconds of Cyclones even in India for the last 7-8 years. We have a project in Namdhari, yes, Tower, and nobody has reported that any of our right. So since 2014, that when I joined this company, there was no retractable roof structure in whole of the Asia. But since then, we put up a first project with the Namdhari in Bangalore, 2015. Then next one we put up in Pattaya in Thailand, Dawar in Delhi, 2017, April Asia, that big company in Indonesia that built up a 4 hectare in 2018, and every year they are adding 1 hectare for nursery purpose. DS Grow Greens, they have put up 2 hectare structure in Brindavan for blueberry cultivation in UP. Now they are building 115 acre, one of the largest retractable structure in the world in Western UP, near in Muzaffarnagar district. Simply Fresh, we have completed in 2019. It's one of the state-of-art project in India, in Hyderabad. So it is already 25 acre with the, they are growing almost all crops, leafy, herbs, vine, nutraceutical. And then we have another lemon chili farm in Hyderabad. Earlier it is known as a triangle farm. So it's a 15-acre single structure. They are growing actually cucumber and color capsicum and melons. So thank you very much for having patience and listening to me. Thanks, agricultureinformation.com.
You do all this, you call me, said, I also do. Instead of serving the money to the agriculture, at least I can have a piece of.
I'm sending the links. I don't know how many of you are using it.
Thank you, Mr. Rajendra Kumar, for a detailed presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll now take up some questions. I request participants in Zoom to stay in mute so that we can take up the questions. So the first question is, okay, what? Who are the typical customers for Crevo in India?
Means technical or typical?
The customers who are using your products?
Mostly that we have actually corporate people or young entrepreneur that like that Simply Fresh and Triangle Farm. They are actually lemon chili farm. They are built up by the young people. And corporate people like Namdhari, like DS Group, like Dawar, they are building a large scale corporate type of farming system here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Rajendra Kumar, can you please on your camera?
Okay. So, okay, sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So next question is, can you give some examples of successful projects set up by Crevo in India?
All our projects are successful. We built up first project with Namdhari in 2015. Then in 2016, we built up this Pattaya project. Then 2017, we built Dawar. Then this DS. Because almost all our clients, they are going for expansion. Like DS Group, they build up earlier 5 acre. Now they are going for 115 acre. This Simply Fresh, they have built up 25 acre. Now they are going for next 10 acre. Similarly, Triangle Farm and Dawar, they are also looking for expansion with us. So it means that if a client is looking for giving us next order, so it means that is successful, is happy with us.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And next question is, there are many local companies that can provide these greenhouses.
Mhm.
Why should customers choose Crevo?
Because actually, you see that this technology is a totally different than the greenhouse or polyhouse. Greenhouse, polyhouse, we have already seen here because they work in good in some season, but another season it doesn't work. Mostly our this polyhouse, greenhouse, they doesn't work during summer and rainy season. Winter we can grow anything. Although that in the winter we are growing most of crop in the open field also. We can extend our winter season by putting a poly house or net house or polytunnel. So this is a technology that are suitable for year round actually. You can create summer shade type system during summer. You can create a rain protection during rainy season. You can create a winter protection like a greenhouse. And when you have a very good congenial environment, you just open the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
And next question. What is the minimum investment required for setting up a commercially viable greenhouse using Crevo's technology?
Actually, it depends upon the crop and the market also. Suppose if you want to grow the leafy and herbs, so I think 1 hectare is sufficient for you. It means that 2.5 acre, that is also a viable commercial unit. But if you want to grow like tomato or capsicum, you need a large area actually, because there are a lot of overhead. You have to put up agronomist, you have to put up farm manager, so many supervisor, worker. So to overcome those overhead, you need to scale up. So like that triangle farm that we have, because they have earlier they have a 3 acre or something that net house or something that they were growing some crops. Now they have 15 acre retractable roof, because the labor you can actually lot of overhead costs you can distribute when you are putting scaling up your area. So that 10 or 15 acre that for vine type of crop like tomato, capsicum, cucumber, I think then you need minimum 10 acre or 15 acre, not less than that.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you are growing a blueberry or fruit crops, then you probably need a larger area. The blueberry, you need a minimum 25 acre house. For similar with the raspberry or blackberry, you need a bigger area because these are the low volume, high value crops. So even if you have a low volume, so you can't transport because you need still some volume, some weight to transport to the longer distance, so that you can overcome your logistic cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And next question, why do some greenhouse projects success while others fail?
There are many reasons for that. It may be technological fault, it may be management failure, or any of these reasons they are actually due to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have, I think, the last question. Please tell us about your own business development career background and what have been the highlights.
I did my graduation in forestry from YS Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Solan, Himachal Pradesh. That is the first university in horticulture and forestry in India. So I passed out in 1990. Then I did my master's from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantanagar. I did master's in agriculture economics. Then I worked in various seed companies in 93 to 2004 2004. Mainly I worked for Nursery, then Royal Slews, then Seminars, then which become Monsanto. Then I quit. Then I started my own business in the greenhouse field till 2014. So I'm having my own company, that Green Tech Agri Sector Private Limited in Himachal Pradesh. That is the largest company which I have built, more than 15 lakh square meter area in Himachal Pradesh. So then thereafter 2014, then I got this bigger offer from Crevo, because they are looking for a technically qualified uh, person who has a knowledge of greenhouse structures and thing. So they give me opportunity. So initially they appointed me for India, then they give me responsibility for South Asia. Now I'm looking after almost whole Asia except Middle East.
Okay, we have one participant in Zoom. Mr. Vikram, you can ask your question now. Yes, Mr. Vikram, please proceed. Mr. Vikram, we are not able to hear you. If you're facing any issues with the mic, you can post the question in the chat box.
Yeah, you can share my number also.
Yeah.
So that any person that who wanted to know more or understand about the technology, so he can chat with me or send me the WhatsApp message on my number or on my email address also. That is available already on your platform.
Yeah. Mr. Vikram, are you posting your question in the chat box? Okay, I think he's facing some issue.
Yeah.
He has replied, he's posting it.
Okay.
We'll wait for a few seconds. Yeah, okay, Mr. Vikram, I read your message. He says, okay. Okay, he's saying Mr. Vikram is from Vrindavan DS group.
Yeah.
And we are facing some issues with the GH parts.
Which one?
GH parts. That is greenhouse parts, I guess.
So he has to contact our technical team. So I'm not responsible for the technical team.
Okay. Mr. Vikram, you have anything to ask more? Okay, I think he doesn't have. Mr. Vikram, I'm sharing Mr. Rajendra's contact number. If you have any other issues, you can contact him directly.
Thank you, Rajni. And
okay.
Yeah, and thank you, agricultureinformation.com, for giving me chance on your prestigious platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I like to thank Mr. Rajendra Kumar for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions. And we also like to thank all the participants in the meeting. And this meeting will now be closed.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.